talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Long time, forever, yes, bullshit.
No, listen, we are not going to be disrespectful. This is not what the fuck we as a union are.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. I don't do this for the applause. I do this for a cause. Let's talk. Mr. RENFROE has continually stuck his foot in his mouth, and when he is approached with questions, he gets hostile. He has his team of bullies with him that tend to try to shut people down. We're going to jump into that, and then I'm going to show you a video of his own words. And we're going to get to that in a second. But first, for all the new people here, welcome. My name is JH. Everything USPS with JH. I touch on a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Unfortunately, the hot topic is the city letter carriers and their sorry contract, in my opinion, and what they've been going through. So we've been touching on that. We'll be touching on some of the health insurance in a little bit, but that'll be for another video. But if you don't know, go to the video description and check out the things. And for the new people that have been emailing me, asking me about those things that are in the video description, I have videos. I have used 85% of those things. I have borrowed money from the loan from feds. I have utilized the purchasing power for Christmas. I use those things, so they are real. It's not something that we're just trying to scam you with. But anyway, it's there to help you. But let's talk. RENFROE, you know what? If you can hear this, I'ma just let you hear this for a second, because Jay's that kind of guy. Okay, let's go. Ready?
No. And I said, I think there are things, if your definition of a story that haven't happened in a long time, forever, yes, bullshit.
No, listen, we are not going to be disrespectful. This is not what the fuck we as a union are.
I don't want to be subject to you swearing. I don't want to be subject to you swearing.
And be disrespectful to each other. When a question is asked, he needs to be allowed to speak. When somebody is at the microphone, they also need to be allowed to speak without everybody else chiming in. That's all I'm asking for, and that's respect for you also.
You interrupted me first.
And I'm saying first and period. I'm not saying
Here's what I'm not willing to do. Exhibit A. I'm not going to stand here and have questions framed to me or anybody else in this room with things that are blatantly and simply not true. I'm here to answer any question anybody has about this agreement, about the process, anything I talked about, anything I haven't talked about. What I'm not here to do is listen to foolish accusations that are just false. That does nothing to contribute to the reason we're here. To learn and to go.
Listen, I don't know if you could hear that. I'm probably gonna dupe it over so you could hear it again, but that's your president, and when he's approached with questions that he say that are false or whatever the case is, he's not gonna answer them. So here's my thing, guy. I don't understand if if I'm in a relationship, which you're in a relationship, Mr. Renfro, you're in a relationship with 300,000 letter carriers, and they say, hey, listen, I'm in my relationship. Hey, I think you cheated on me. I'm not gonna listen to this. No, there's a reason that they're asking that, or somebody's asking me that. I'm gonna say, well, what makes you feel that way? Why do you feel that way? Okay, I can understand where you think this, but this is actually what happened. You're gonna need to explain things. You don't have that luxury, big guy. You got $300,000 a year paycheck. You don't got that luxury to sit there and brush off my brothers and sisters when they come to you. And y'all sit there and talk all that smack about no phones, no recording. My guy, this is the day and age of social. Everybody's gonna have it. You wondering who recorded that? I did. I sat there. Come see me. You could come talk to me. Yeah, exactly. You're like, wait a minute, I don't think I saw him in the crowd. Was this guy there? No, but I recorded it. How about them apples? Listen, it doesn't matter because we got you, Mr. Renfro, talking about you don't want to work. You don't want to work. I get it. I understand that there's a disruption to this next topic. There was a topic about a year or so ago that I brought up about one worker that took it to the Supreme Court on a Sunday. He didn't want to work on Sundays for religious beliefs, and I get it. We can't sit there and do that because it opens a whole Pandora's box. Everybody gonna be religious all of a sudden. I get it. But your response to that, Postal family, listen to his response. His response wasn't that it's going to open a Pandora's box. His was, we're going to have to change the rules of the contract, and it's just too much. And they took our recommendations and they sent it back down to the lower court. And thank God I didn't have to do more work, because it would have just been more work. We would have had to change the culture, and we don't want to change the culture. He didn't say that, but God damn it, he damn near did. I want you to hear how he responded to this little 3-minute clip. The man asked, this was his podcast. Asked him about that same situation. How many people here think that they want the Sundays off? Huh? FedEx wants Sundays off. They get them off, right? UPS. There is a way this can happen. But he said, no, because it opened a Pandora box for the whole place. I get it. I get it. Because the plants, the postal plants, have to have people there. I get it, 24-hour operations, but you got carriers coming in and working on Sundays to deliver your parcels. I get it, but your response, my guy, you don't really give a damn about, and the way you say it, you worried more about the post office than your carriers. I understand you worried about the domino effect. Trust me, I understand. I see the big picture. But the way you worded it, you didn't describe it correctly. Please, postal family, I want you to hear this again out of Renfro's own mouth. This is the leader that you have in place. This is not going to change your culture. This is not going to help you move forward into something better. Just my opinion. I'm just some guy on the internet, though. You know, I don't know nothing about nothing. Postal family, y'all tell me what you think.
All right, we have another question here from Colin from Branch 82. He wants to know about the recent Supreme Court decision with the USPS Postmaster DeJoy and what that impact's going to have.
Yeah, so I guess I should give a little bit of background. There was recently a decision issued by the court in a case. The name of the case was Groff versus DeJoy, and Mr. Groff was a rural letter carrier. I forget where, I think somewhere in the Midwest, and filed suit essentially saying the law should allow him, due to his religious beliefs, to be excused or accommodated by not having to work on Sundays. And this case was eventually appealed up to the Supreme Court. And this was one that we were very concerned about. And NALC, along with several of the other unions and their attorneys and the attorneys at the AFL-CIO, we got together and strategized a little bit. And we, NALC, submitted a brief to the court where essentially what we asked for was that this case should just be remanded to the lower courts for them to apply the existing law. And the main reason that was what we asked the court to do is, if the court was to rule on this, and with this court, if that were to have happened, more than likely they would have granted that accommodation. That would have triggered massive changes to things like our collective bargaining agreement, Article 8, the way we schedule. It would be a very disruptive result. So by sending it back to the lower level and just allowing that court to apply the law, then it would apply to just this case and, this individual lawsuit. So thankfully, the decision of the court was exactly what we asked for in our brief, and that was to remand it back to the lower court and let the lower court figure out what to do. I don't think there's been any movement in that regard yet, but the short answer to the most important question here, which is how does this affect us, is it really doesn't have any effect on us at the national level broadly on our collective bargaining agreement, which is a positive thing, particularly when you look at the makeup of this Supreme Court. It's one that, for a lot of reasons, whenever there's a case that could impact us, more times than not, you would, if you had to put your money on it, you would bet that it's not going to go our way. But in this particular case, thankfully, it was the result that we had asked for in our brief. So, bump in the road, so to speak, but no long-term impact, at least not right now. So in some ways we dodged a little bit of a bullet there, but we'll see if the issue comes up again in the future. But thankfully this one turned out the way that was best for our members around the country.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.